recently visited Stockholm, Sweden, and it is an absolutely beautiful city. Stockholm is very walkable, and there is so much to do and see that it's hard to do it all. But before you watch my top 10 things to do in Stockholm, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my travel videos. The Vasa Museum was built for the ship named Vasa after King Gustav II. It was built as a warship in 1618 and was supposed to be unsinkable, but due to poor design, it sunk within minutes of its inaugural sailing. The top was too heavy with cannons and the base was too narrow. The slightest breeze toppled it over. Amazingly, the ship sat preserved in the harbor until the 1960s when it was discovered and raised to the surface. The Nordic Museum, or Nordic Museum, is a cultural museum depicting what life was like in Nordic history. This is the back of the museum. Now, there are different exhibits showcasing their traditions, jewelry, and even table settings. Currently, you can see an exhibit on the Arctic and white smelting, as well as fashion from Paris. Skansen is an open-air museum located on Djurgården. This museum depicts Swedish history come to life. You can see reenactments of how the Swedish lived centuries ago. The changing of the guard ceremony is about 10 to 15 minutes long and located at the Royal Palace in Gamlestan. It's worth watching if you're in the area. If you're able to catch a mounted parade throughout the streets of Stockholm leading to the ceremony, this is also a must-see. It is not available every day, so be sure to check the calendar first. The Medieval Museum is located on Gamlestan under the bridge leading to the Royal Palace. Inside you will find information on what Stockholm was like in medieval times, including a city wall from the 16th century that was found when trying to build a parking garage. Stroma is the top tour company when it comes to canal tours. It's a fun way to spend the afternoon whether you're traveling down the different canals to see a different view of the city or heading to some of the islands for a day trip. It's definitely a must-do. Each boat also has a cafe offering traditional Swedish fika. An audio guide is also included with your admission. The ABBA Museum is a must if you're a fan of their music, or maybe even if you aren't. It's a fun little museum to experience ABBA's music. There is even a hotel you can stay in for the diehards. Sigtuna is a day trip outside of Stockholm that you simply must visit. It is quite small, but it's so worth it. There is a beautiful lake you can sit by for hours, a quaint pedestrian street filled with shops and cafes, and even church ruins you can visit. Uppsala is the second city you should visit as a day trip from Stockholm. It is a university city in Sweden and as a result feels very lively. It has the most beautiful canal situated beside a lovely street where you can buy ice cream and sit and relax. A visit to the Uppsala Cathedral is also worth stopping in as it is also the burial site of King Eric IX. And last but not least, the Ice Bar. It's exactly what you would expect. It's a bar made of ice, and it's located inside the Hotel C in Stockholm. With your visit, you are allowed about 45 minutes inside, but that's all you really need. Before you go inside, you are suited up with a fur-lined waterproof poncho and gloves, not only to protect yourself from the cold, but also the ice from you. Your admission includes one drink, which you can choose from the menu carved in ice, and each year the ice bar is completely rebuilt and receives a new theme. In 2022, it was the 20th anniversary, and thus, turning 20 was the theme. Reservations are not required, but recommended during peak times.